Which brings us to Section 1, the sudden zoo announcement, where timing is everything.
Welcome back to The Explainer. So, we usually think of a trip to the zoo as just a totally carefree day, right? Taking some fun photos, watching the animals, and making memories with the family. But recently, well, a massive and I mean highly specific policy announcement from the Ichikawa City Zoo over in Japan completely flipped that expectation upside down. It's a really fascinating case study in how our public spaces are desperately trying to adapt to the reality of everyone walking around with a smartphone. Let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive into this. 2 million. That is a massive number. It perfectly represents the explosive virality of a single social media post made by the Ichikawa City Zoo on X. I mean, just think about that for a quick second. A standard administrative update from a municipal botanical park and zoo somehow racked up over 2 million views online. Why? Well, because it wasn't just your run-of-the-mill update about park hours or a cute new animal exhibit. It completely struck a nerve. It touched on privacy, digital boundaries, and what we are and absolutely aren't allowed to point our cameras at when we're out in public. The core text of the official announcement actually read like this. Starting June 30, Tuesday, zookeepers may wear an armband. In that case, photographing the zookeeper is prohibited. Wow. It is direct, it's totally unequivocal, and it acts as this incredibly strict boundary for our digital age etiquette. There's literally no gray area here. The zoo is stepping in and establishing a clear, completely non-negotiable rule to protect the privacy of its essential workers. The timeline of these events brilliantly illustrates just how urgent this whole update was. So the announcement was actually posted to social media at 8:19 a.m. on June 29th, and then boom, it went into full effect the very next day, June 30th. They gave the public less than 24 hours notice before strict enforcement kicked in. I mean, they didn't roll this out slowly over a month. They definitely didn't run some long-winded awareness campaign. No, they identified a boundary that desperately needed to be set, and they enacted it almost immediately. Moving right along to Section 2, the armband indicator and the visual cue.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that the physical linchpin of the zoo's entire policy isn't just a blanket ban on all photography. It's actually totally conditional. It all comes down to the armband. This is a designated visual marker worn by the zookeepers, and if you see it, it means capturing their image or taking a video of them is strictly prohibited. It is the ultimate, undeniable boundary marker. Visitors now have to proactively keep an eye out for this trigger before they even think about tapping the shutter button on their phones.
So, to really wrap our heads around this, let's clearly delineate the boundaries here. On one hand, you've got general zoo photography, taking pictures of the animals, the gorgeous habitats, snapping selfies with your friends. All of that standard tourist stuff is still completely fine. But on the flip side, capturing staff who are wearing that designated armband, that's the newly prohibited action. The zoo has basically created 2 distinct zones of engagement, the public spectacle that you can photograph and the protected worker that you definitely can't. But what exactly happens if someone crosses that line? Let's look at Section 3, strict social media consequences and the digital repercussions. And here's where things get super serious. The zoo's official warning wasn't just about snapping the picture. It was actually about what you do with it afterward. They explicitly stated that violations discovered on social media, or SNS, will be reported immediately. They are completely forbidding anyone from uploading offending media to social platforms. And honestly, this directly implicates all of our everyday online sharing habits. It means the zoo is actively monitoring these platforms, and they are not afraid at all to take immediate, authoritative action against your account if you violate the privacy of their marked staff. It's essentially a strict, step-by-step chain of events. Let's walk through it. If a visitor photographs the armband, whether they meant to or it was just a total accident, and then uploads that media to their social networks, the zoo will find it. Once discovered, the violation is officially reported, which could lead to some really severe consequences for the user's social media standing. So, what might feel like a super innocent split-second post to Instagram or X actually triggers a formal institutional response. So, how do we operate in this new landscape? Let's cover Section 4, navigating the new rules and adapting to boundaries. Well, we just have to adapt, plain and simple. If you want to ensure you're complying with this strict update, just remember these core takeaways. First, the policy is actively enforced as of June 30th. Second, when you visit, you absolutely need to proactively look for that armband cue. Third, if you spot it, do not photograph those marked zookeepers. Fourth, under no circumstances should you post armband media to your social channels. And finally, remember that non-compliance will result in immediate reporting. It's basically your new checklist for digital respect in a physical public space.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final thought to really chew on. How do we balance capturing our memories with respecting the explicit boundaries set by essential workers in public spaces? It's a tough dilemma, right? The Ichikawa City Zoo just drew a very firm line in the sand, and it forces all of us to kind of take a step back and question our own digital habits. I mean, the camera phone has literally turned everyone into a photographer, but it certainly hasn't given us unlimited access to everyone's privacy. Keep that in mind the next time you're out and about with your phone in hand. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I cannot wait to see you in our next explainer.